In County Tyrone, farmer Helen Keys is doing things differently. On her family farm, she grows flax for linen the old way, working gently alongside nature, not against it. With care for the soil, respect for the land, and a deep love for biodiversity, Helen proves that farming can be productive and kind to the earth at the same time. This is her story, farming with nature.
We've seen improvements, I suppose, in this little stream. I mean, it's only a tiny stream that runs around the edge of our farm, but it is really nice for us to keep an eye on that and see how it's doing. So we quite regularly will come down and look under a stone and see what sort of life is there, really, which is the quickest and easiest way to check your river. And we certainly see that this is in really much better quality than you might expect. There's a really good variety of different species in there, which tells you that it's good because it's supporting a lot of different species. And also one of the best things we did was get a wildlife camera, and we put it up on different spots around the farm. We have had it down in this spot actually, and the wildlife camera has picked up all kinds of species that we didn't even know were there. So it's been great to we were really surprised to find otters in this tiny little stream, and we had no idea that they were here, but the wildlife camera picked them up. So that was a real joy to know that there's otters down here, and indeed all kinds of other things living in this tiny little stream. There's no better indicator really than the wildlife in the river, because they're the things that are most effective. So if you have things like, stonefly and caddis, and you can tell what's in your river by just looking. We certainly, knowing that there's all of that variety of life in the river, right up to otters being there, gives us real confidence that this stream has great water quality. On this farm, for example, this field here that we're in is a traditional hay meadow, really, and you sort of look at that and think, well, we're growing grass, but actually in amongst that there's species after species after species, and then all around the edges of it you've got all sorts of other stuff growing as well. So there's not much out at this time of the year, but it's really good just to kind of document what you've got and just be recording that so that you can track it then. And this will not just tell you what you've got, but it'll actually let you record that, so you end up with a nice list of everything that you've got. Farming's very much part of a whole ecosystem. It's not just about production, and understanding that and being able to sort of look and connect with what's actually going on, not just in terms of how much yield you've got, but how you're actually protecting the environment, and getting a really good understanding of how you're doing that is really helpful, because it helps you feel better about what you're doing. So using things like, the apps that will help you to identify what plants you have, what birds you have, and it becomes such a joy then when you're out walking the farm and you find something you haven't seen before and you're able to tell what it is. And we actually ended up doing a complete audit of the farm ourselves, because we've got the tools to help us do that, and we were able to document all the different species that we have, and then we're able to compare how it changes over time as well. So the apps work, they're so simple to use, and I don't see why, going forward in future schemes, we can't use tools like this to help us, track what's going on our farms and make sure that we're actually improving the environment. That just shows how well you're doing as a farmer, not just how much food you're producing, but also how you are acting as a steward of the land and how well you're protecting it. Our farm doesn't look like a typical tidy farm. We deliberately let the hedgerows grow a bit wild. There'll be lots of patches that are just left for wildlife, and it looks quite sort of unmanaged, but it is managed, and it's really possible to manage a farm in a way that you get a good yield, make a profit, produce food, fibre, fuel, produce all that you need, but do it in a way that leaves lots of room for nature as well. You just have to stop being so obsessed with being tidy all the time and not try to get every inch of it into production. But we have found that our system of sort of crop rotation, leaving lots of areas, sort of managing them like traditional hay meadows, and lots of variety on the farm as well, I think really helps, having diversity really across the farm. And that's, diversity of crops, which makes for more resilient income streams. If one thing fails, you've got something else to back it up. So having a diversity of income streams brings a diversity of wildlife to your farm as well. So this is the field where we're going to be planting flax this year. We work in a rotation. So, with the flax we're going to have to plough the field, and we don't want to keep doing that year on year in the same field. So we rotate it around the farm. So we're only doing it once in 7 years, which gives plenty of time then for the soil to recover after we've got our crop off it. And then it goes back into grass, and we undersow it with clover and bring that all back then. I think one of the issues we have, particularly in Northern Ireland, is a lot of the fields are quite compacted, and because we have been predominantly one species of grass, really, it means that the roots are all at the same kind of depth, and we've ended up with a lot of the water's just going over the top of the land, and that leads to flooding. But it also is a massive problem in terms of water quality, because it means that any artificial inputs are just going straight off the top of the field rather than getting down in, and that's just bad for your bottom line as well. It's if this stuff's just washing away. So I think we've a job to do really in terms of just improving soil quality as a whole. That's not just your NPK or your pH, it's actually the soil structure as well, so that we can absorb more water in our soil and can make it just function much better. So one of the things we've really noticed on our farm is the benefit that when you're managing your soil right, you get a huge benefit in terms of being able to get onto the land for many more weeks of the year. So, it's not flooding in the same way because it's better able to absorb the water, and you don't have this kind of surface run-on and pooling and, the land just turning to muck. So we can certainly see, and I think it's to do with the root structure and the root depth as well, because there's so many different species. You've got shallow roots and deep roots and all of that, and I think that all helps the kind of overall soil structure, which allows you many more weeks to be able to get out on the land. I'll show you our machinery. So this is where we're processing all of the flax that you can see over there. So this turns it from raw flax out of the field into this fibre, as you can see. So this is our kind of end product, natural fibre, which is then goes to be used, well, it's used in all kinds of ways. It can be used for making linen, it can be used for, people use it to make some sort of fur, paper. The chaff is used for animal bedding, so it's used for all kinds of different things. But so we keep bees here on the farm, and so that means we're always interested in how we can support bees and making sure that we've got as many flowering things as possible that they can feed on throughout the year, especially things that can kind of extend the season. So that's why we've put in things like the orchard with a mix of native heritage, apple trees, pear, cherry, plum. Obviously we all benefit from that as well. The flax is also really good for bees and pollinators, and it flowers for 2 or 3 weeks in the middle of the summer, and it will be absolutely full of hoverflies, bees, bumblebees, all kinds of different pollinators. So we know that having that variety of things around the farm is really beneficial for not just our own bees, but for wildlife as a whole. Some of the work that my dad did was looking at how we can use plants like comfrey to keep nutrients on the farm instead of letting them off the farm and away into the river and into Lough Neagh ultimately, where they cause harm. And it makes total sense for a farm to keep the nutrients on it, because we're buying in fertiliser to top up nutrients. So what they looked at was using this plant, a variety that doesn't spread, it grows from a root, and it puts down a huge, big, deep root. So it's a really, really effective nutrient miner. So anywhere around the farm where you have flows of nutrients, maybe dirty water running off a farmyard, something like that, you can use a plant like this to capture that nutrient. So it's all about sort of looking at where water's flowing around the farmyard, off roofs and coming off fields, and all of that water will ultimately end up in the river and ultimately end up in Lough Neagh if you're within that Lough Neagh catchment. So it's looking at where that water might be picking up nutrients, diverting that into where there are plants, and then letting those plants do the work for you of capturing all that nutrient and bringing that water up. And you can harvest that and turn that into fertiliser, which you can then use on the farm. So it's just a neat way for nature to do your work for you, capture the nutrients and bring them back into something useful on the farm. So it's really simple, low cost, no chemicals, no software, no technology, just a really simple way of letting nature help the farmer.